All right, let's talk about something we all know, fear. Most of us, right, we spend our lives trying to run from it. But today, we're going to do something different. We're going to flip the script and look at fear from a completely new angle.
I mean, think about it. Since we were kids, it's been drilled into us. Fear is the bad guy. It's a weakness, something to be conquered. But what if that whole way of thinking is just wrong?
What if that feeling we try so hard to avoid, that pit in your stomach, what if it isn't a paralyzing force at all? What if it's actually an incredible tool that you just haven't learned how to use yet? Yeah, what if fear is your hidden superpower?
Okay, so here's the big idea that changes everything. Fear isn't some mysterious, spooky force out to get you. It's way simpler than that. It's just a lack of information. Seriously. Your brain is basically sending up a flare, saying, hey, we're missing some critical data here. The fear is the signal, not the actual danger. Let's try an analogy. Imagine someone just handed you the keys to a ridiculously powerful supercar. Now, is the car itself dangerous? No way. The danger comes when you don't know how to drive it, right? When you don't respect its power. Well, in our little story here, fear, that's the supercar sitting in your head. So you can see the huge shift in thinking here. The old way? Fear is some monster coming from the outside, something to fight, something that just freezes you in your tracks. But this new way? It's totally different. Fear is an internal signal. It's a tool. And that nervous energy, that's not paralysis. That's high-octane fuel, just waiting for you to use it. Okay, so if fear is this amazing supercar, why do so many of us, immediately crash it into a wall? Well, the reason has a name, the information gap. Here's the deal with our brains. They absolutely hate a vacuum. They can't stand not knowing something. So when we face the unknown and we don't have the facts, our brain just makes stuff up to fill in the blanks. And what does it usually make up? Oh yeah, the absolute worst case scenario. Every time. And this kicks off a really nasty cycle, what you could call a fear crash. It goes like this. You face something new, you don't have enough info, your brain panics and fills the void with, this is going to be a disaster. Then you act based on that insecure, disaster-focused thought, and what happens? You get a bad result, which seems to prove your original fear was right all along. It's a classic self-fulfilling prophecy. Let's make this super concrete. Picture this, a guy at a bar. He sees someone across the room he'd love to talk to, but he's totally frozen by insecurity. Now that insecurity, that's just a huge blinking information gap sign. See, he doesn't have any real information about her, but even bigger than that, he lacks solid confidence in himself. So his brain fills that massive gap with one thought, she's gonna reject me. He walks over, radiating that insecurity, and well, she picks up on it and he gets shut down. Boom, the supercar is in a ditch, and his brain goes, see, I told you so. So, okay, we get it. We're crashing the car because we're terrible drivers. The big question then is, how in the world do you learn to drive this thing? And this is where everything changes. We stop treating fear like a red light telling us to slam on the brakes. Instead, we start treating it like a GPS. It's literally pointing us in the exact direction of the information we need to find. It becomes our guide. So the new rule is simple. The very next time you feel that jolt of fear, that tightness in your chest, stop. Don't ask, ugh, what's wrong with me? Ask a much better question. Okay, what information am I missing right now? That feeling of anxiety, that's the feeling of just sitting there, stuck in the unknown. The only way out is to get moving and find the knowledge that fills in the blanks. So from now on, the mantra is, don't get anxious, get educated. Now let's look at the complete opposite of our friend at the bar, someone who knows how to drive. Imagine a journalist rushes a story and gets a fact wrong. Oof, the criticism pours in. That embarrassment, that feeling of failure, that's the fear signal. But instead of hiding, they use it. They say, okay, I missed something. They go back, do the hard work, find the missing facts, and publish a killer, accurate correction. They turn that crash into a win by listening to the signal. And when you start doing this over and over again, something really amazing starts to happen. You actually learn how to handle the supercar. You master the road. Fear isn't in the driver's seat anymore. You are. This is a game changer. You stop letting your emotions be the reason you act. Instead, you act based on solid information, and your emotions become the after effect of your actions, not the cause. It's the difference between blindly reacting and making a clear, conscious choice. And once you make that flip, All that intense energy that used to paralyze you, it transforms. It becomes pure fuel. Fuel for growth, fuel for getting through the tough stuff, fuel for perseverance. It stops being a barrier and starts being the rocket that unlocks your potential and helps you make awesome, informed choices.
So if there's just one thing you remember from all of this, make it this. Your fear isn't random. It's not a curse. It is a custom-made, perfectly designed roadmap that points exactly to what you need to learn next to grow. It's like having your own personal coach. So the next time you feel it, that familiar knot in your stomach, don't run. Don't fight it. Just stop for a second and listen. Ask it that simple question. Because finding the answer to what information am I missing, well, that could be the very key you need to unlock whatever is next for you.